Forget the one-size-fits-all harvest rule that tells you to wait for a specific percentage of late-stage gland coloration. That standard is convenient, but convenience isn't precision. And in resinous aromatic cultivars, that rule can quietly sabotage the very thing you're trying to preserve: the bright, high-volatility aromatic compounds that define a cultivar's most energetic, vivid expression. If you're harvesting based on conformity instead of chemistry, you're not timing a peak, you're timing a stereotype. Here's the uncomfortable truth: the moment you choose to wait a little longer is often the moment you begin trading clarity for heaviness, brightness for density, sparkle for dullness. Not because the plant suddenly becomes bad, but because the chemistry is moving. The gland heads are not static trophies, they're dynamic chemical reactors. Their composition shifts as the plant finishes, as exposure accumulates, and as oxidation slowly rewrites the profile you thought you were locking in. So this video is about a different goal: identifying the precise milky window, the point where gland heads are fully developed and opaque, maximally formed, but not yet in the phase where degradation and oxidation begin to tilt the profile toward heavier, flatter expressions. It's not about harvesting early because you're impatient. It's about harvesting earlier because you're targeting a different peak. The myth of the universal late-stage standard. The universal standard exists because it's easy to teach. It gives growers a simple visual threshold and a sense of certainty. The problem is that it assumes all cultivars share the same ideal finishing chemistry and that the same visual cue always maps to the same desired end profile. In reality, resinous plants express very different aromatic personalities, and those personalities often live in compounds that are the first to disappear when you hold the plant in highlight and warm air for extra days. There's also a second problem. Late-stage gland coloration is not just more mature, it can also be more altered. A portion of that color shift reflects chemical transformation, oxidation, and conversion processes that change the character of the resin. For some harvest goals, those changes are desirable. For others, they're the exact reason the final product feels heavier, less vivid, and less sharp in aroma. This is why the correct question isn't, when does it look done? The correct question is, what profile am I trying to preserve, and which maturity window protects it? The science of the milky window. A gland head becomes milky when it reaches a structural and chemical density that scatters light strongly. That opacity usually signals that the gland is fully built. Cuticle, head structure, internal resin content. Clear glands, by contrast, are often underdeveloped, less content, less density, less finished expression. But once the gland head becomes fully opaque and mature, the timeline doesn't stop. Chemistry continues shifting, and as exposure continues, especially under intense light and higher canopy temperatures, volatile compounds begin to evaporate or transform. The milky window is the phase where glands are fully developed and opaque, but before a meaningful share of glands shift into later stage coloration associated with oxidation and conversion. This is the window where many cultivars express their brightest, most nuanced aromatics, especially the more volatile fractions that don't survive prolonged heat and light. This is also why chasing late-stage color can be a trap. You're not just waiting for a visual milestone, you're allowing time for a chemical migration that may move your end profile away from what makes the cultivar special in the first place. Preserving high-volatility aromatic profiles. If the goal is to preserve bright, top-note aromatics, those crisp, lifting, high-definition smells that hit the nose fast, then the enemy is exposure. Light, warmth, and time are not neutral. They are active forces that strip the most volatile compounds first. Many cultivars produce a layered aromatic profile with delicate, fast-evaporating compounds sitting on top of a heavier base notes. The longer you hold mature flowers under warm, bright conditions, the more you bias the profile toward the heavier, more persistent compounds. That's why some late harvests smell thicker but less complex, more base, less sparkle. This isn't only about aroma as a scent. Aroma chemistry influences how the whole experience is perceived. When top notes are preserved, the profile tends to feel brighter, more dimensional, and more precise. When top notes are lost, the profile tends to feel rounder, heavier, and more uniform. So, an earlier harvest strategy is really an aroma preservation strategy. Capture the profile when it's loudest in the volatile range before it collapses into a heavier, more uniform expression. Visual indicators beyond gland color. Relying on color alone is how people either harvest too early or hold too long. Precision comes from using multiple indicators that confirm the plant is finished in development, even if you're not waiting for late-stage color shifts. One indicator is structural readiness. As flowers finish, there is a visible shift in calyx development and overall swelling and inflation that reflects the plant completing its build-out. Another indicator is pistil behavior. Pistils don't follow one universal pattern, but many cultivars show a transition from active fresh growth signals to recession and maturation cues. These markers aren't perfect, but they add context that pure gland color can't provide. Macro and microscopic imaging is the most reliable way to avoid being fooled. High-definition macro photography lets you separate truly clear glands from fully opaque glands without relying on memory or lighting. Under magnification, immature clear heads look glassy and transparent, and the head structure often appears less dense. Fully mature opaque heads look consistently milky across the head, not just bright from glare. Glare is the enemy here. Reflections can make a clear head look milky if your lighting angle is wrong. That's why stable light and consistent imaging matter more than expensive gear. Leaf senescence can also be a supporting clock. It should never be the only clock. But when a plant is genuinely finishing, there are patterns in how it winds down. The key is using senescence as confirmation, not as a trigger, because nutrient strategy and environment can change how that presents. How to avoid the two biggest mistakes. The first mistake is confusing clear with milky because of lighting. If your light is harsh and reflective, you'll see bright highlights and assume maturity. The fix is simple. Use diffuse light and consistent angles. A stable macro setup with soft light makes the true optical state of the gland head far easier to interpret. The second mistake is assuming that earlier harvest automatically means unfinished. Earlier than late-stage color shift does not mean underdeveloped. The goal is fully developed opaque glands, not clear glands. This is not harvesting prematurely. This is harvesting at a different peak, one that prioritizes volatile preservation over late-stage transformation. Mastering post-harvest handling to preserve volatiles. Harvest timing is only half the story. Even a perfectly timed harvest can be ruined by sloppy post-harvest handling. If the goal is to preserve volatile aromatics, then drying and curing must protect them. High heat drives off the very compounds you're trying to keep. Aggressive airflow can strip aroma from the surface. Low humidity can dry too fast, locking in harshness before internal moisture equalizes. A preservation-minded dry prioritizes stability, cooler conditions, controlled humidity, and gentle airflow that prevents stagnation without blasting the material. The aim is to slow the process enough for internal moisture migration to stay smooth while avoiding conditions that encourage microbial risk. Too fast and you get a sharp, thin profile and harshness. Too warm and you lose your top notes before they ever make it into the jar. The cure matters because early captured profiles can feel green if they're not allowed to mellow properly. A controlled cure allows harsh compounds to settle and the aromatic profile to integrate without heating the material or repeatedly venting away the volatiles you work to preserve. The point isn't to overhandle it. The point is to let it stabilize while keeping the environment gentle. The real takeaway. The universal harvest rule is popular because it's simple. Precision harvest is different. Precision harvest asks what you're trying to preserve. If the target is bright, high-definition aromatic expression, then waiting for late-stage visual conformity can work against you. The milky window exists and it's real. Fully developed opaque glands, captured before late-stage transformation becomes dominant. That's not a shortcut, that's a deliberate choice. It's chemistry over folklore, and when it's done correctly, the finished profile doesn't just smell different, it feels more vivid, more focused, and more true to the cultivar's high-energy identity. Well, that's going to do it for today, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and please comment with video suggestions and ideas below. But thank you for watching, and as always, peace.